Hello and welcome back, everybody, to another episode of the TV show called Life. And we're reading Job. So Job just got done. He was talking with his second friend. So Eliphaz was before, and I'm being a bad friend and forgetting the name. I'm sure we'll come across. But he was giving him some very good advice. And I was reading it over a little bit before I started this. And so my title says for chapter 8 is Job should repent. And even if you're like you're right at the end of the day and bad things happen to you, maybe just repent. Show faith, right? That's regardless of the circumstances, in the end that God will figure them out, kind of thing. And yeah, it is. We'll read a little bit. So, chapter 9. There is no mediator. Who knows what that means? Then Job answered and said, Truly I know it is so, but how can a man be righteous before God? He's honest, right? I think that's what being righteous before God means, is right. Just being honest. If one wished to contend with him, he could not answer him one time out of 1,000. God is wise in heart and mighty in strength. Who has hardened himself against him and prospered? He removes the mountains, and they do not know when he overturns them in his anger. He shakes the earth out of its place, and its pillars tremble. He commands the sun, and it does not rise. He seals off the stars. He alone spreads out the heavens and treads on the waves of the sea. That's some very cool imagery. I can see some feet walking, some huge feet. But he's very powerful, right? And I think that's what he's trying to get across. There is no mediator. There's no person to talk with God. So he's just kind of living it by himself, which is why he's talking to his friends and wallowing in the desert. I don't think, right? He maybe thinks he can't talk to them, can't talk to God, or he's not listening maybe. Okay. He alone spreads out the heavens and treads the waves of the sea. He made the Bear, Orion, and Pleiades constellations, and the chambers of the south. What is that? He does great things past finding out. Right, once you start finding out what he does, he just continues to do more and more and more, and you look around, right, and you see it, and did God make that? Yeah, he made it. He did make that. Chambers of the South, Book of Job, chapter 9. Chambers of the South refers to the constellations in the southern sky that are not visible from the northern hemisphere. So that means that Job, in this time, knew about the southern hemisphere. Y'all whack. Yes, wonders without numbers. If he goes by me, I do not see him. If he moves past, I do not perceive him. If he takes away, who can hinder him? Who can say to him, What are you doing? God will not withdraw his anger. The allies of the proud lie prostrate beneath him. How then can I answer him, and choose my words to reason with him? For though I were righteous, I could not answer him. I would beg mercy on my judge. If I called and he answered me, I would not believe that he was listening to my voice. For he crushes me without a tempest. and multiplies my wounds without cause. He will not allow me to catch my breath, but fills me with bitterness. If it is a matter of strength, indeed he is strong, and if of justice, who will appoint my day in court? Though I were righteous, my own mouth would condemn me. Though I were blameless, it would prove me perverse. I am blameless, yet I do not know myself. I despise my life. It is all one thing. Therefore I say, he destroys the blameless and the wicked. If the scourge slays suddenly, he laughs at the plight of the innocent. The earth is given into the hand of the wicked. He covers the faces of its judges. If it is not he, who else could it be? He's getting a little bit down in the dumps again. He says, the world is corrupt. Evil people win. Now my days are swifter than a runner. Ooh, he's sprinting. Then flee away. They see no good. They pass by like swift ships. Like an eagle swooping on its prey. That you never know when the time is coming. Like Job didn't know either. If I say, I will forget my complaint, I will put off my sad face and wear a smile. Ooh, he gonna live his life. That's what we do. I am afraid of all my sufferings. I know that you will not hold me innocent if I am condemned. Why then do I labor in vain? If I wash myself with snow water and cleanse my hands with soap, yet you plunge me into the pit, and my own clothes will abhor me. If he is not a man, as I am, that I may answer him, and that he should go to court together, or that we should go to court together. Nor is there any mediator between us who lay his hand on us both. Let him take his rod away from me, and do not let dread of me terrify me. Then I would speak and not fear him, but it is not so with me. So he wants to maybe do that, but he still has the fear of God, I think, in him, and the respect, and he does have faith, even though he's saying all these things. And I think I've said this before, but it's okay to say stuff. And I think your words are far less meaningless than y'all think. And maybe we're a bunch of animals that learned how to talk. And we need to keep that in mind when we're talking to each other. And maybe don't stop getting offended, right? Stop getting offended when people talk. They don't mean to offend you. And if they do mean to offend you, then you can address that, right? In a responsible manner. But we need to start talking to each other differently, right? Something needs to change. But you should have respect for each other. And respect starts from the bottom, right? There should be a foundation of respect. RESPECT. Tell me or show me what it means to me. Show you what it means to me. Show me what it means. Show you. We're showing everybody what it means to respect. And a good idea of respect might require a little bit of knowledge and wisdom, right? But like knowing other people's limits. Because I think maybe we live our lives, right? And you want to interact, but some people just are built different, right? You can't do that thing. And, right, respect is knowing that. Respect is like showing people the same kindness that you would show yourself, or the same kindness that you would want, right? That's Jesus brought back. The golden rule: treat other people the way that you want to be treated. So I think he's coming around. It's a good little tornado of fear and respect and a little bit of sadness and a lot of hope. There's always hope, even though it seemed hopeless. Chapter 10. My soul loathes my life. I will give free course to my complaint. Oh, right, because he wanted to give back his complaint too. And which is a good attitude, right? Have that attitude. Have the attitude of, yeah, this happened, but I'm going to wear a smile. Things are going to be fine, right? Because God has it figured out. You don't need to cry, dude. Don't be crying over spilled milk. That's what this is about. Don't be crying over spilled milk. Because that cow going to produce more milk. Don't you worry. I will speak in the bitterness of my soul, and not, right? I will speak in the bitterness. I will say to God, do not condemn me. Show me why you contend with me. Good question. I would probably ask the same question. I plan on it, at least currently. Does it seem good to you that you should oppress, that you should despise the work of your hands, and smile in the counsel of the wicked? Oh no, Job, you're falling into deceit now. You're turning, Job. The look in your eyes, my goodness, my boy. You need to turn back. Turn back to the light, Job. Turn back. Do you have eyes of flesh, or do you see as man sees? Are your days like the days of a mortal man? Are your years like the days of a mighty man? That you should seek for my iniquity, and search out my sin. Although you know that I am not wicked, and there is no one who can deliver from your hand. Right, there's nobody that can get away from you. Your hands have made me and fashioned me, an intricate unity, yet you would destroy me. Remember, I pray, that you have made me like clay, and you will turn me into dust again? You gonna kill me? Did you not pour me out like milk, and curdle me like cheese, clothe me with skin and flesh, knit me together with bones and sinews, and have granted me life and favor? And your care has preserved my spirit. He said, you put me together from all the little molecules up to my tippy toes. You did all that. You sewn it up like a seamstress. And you did it nice and pretty. And you even worked in nice little intricate designs. Some Easter eggs even. Some little nice things that we could find afterwards just to make sure that we knew you were around. Just so when you stopped talking to us, we would still know that you were here. And that's a beautiful thing, you know? That is a beautiful thing to hear and to know, right, at the end of the day. But still, our poor boy Job. I mean, the depths of depravity and despair in which a person can go. I mean, you ever see the SpongeBob episode where they go into the trench and there's all the monsters down there? And it shows up in the SpongeBob movie as well, but there's different monsters in there. But maybe that's like it, right? I call it the pits of despair when I get real sad. And I'm like, oh no. But just smile, laugh it off. God has a plan. God has a plan. I swear. And you don't listen to me. Listen to God, right? At the end of the day, and you'll see, right? Slowly, baby steps. 13. And these things you have hidden in your heart. I know that this was with you. If I sin, then you mark me, and I will not acquit me, and will not acquit me of my iniquity. If I am wicked, woe to me. If I am righteous, I cannot lift up my head. I am full of disgrace. See my misery. If my head is exalted, you hunt me like a fierce lion. And again you show yourself awesome against me, and renew your witnesses against me, and increase your indignation toward me. Changes and war are ever with me. Why then have you brought me out of the womb? Oh, that I had perished, and no eye had seen me. I would have been as though I had not been. Still wishing he wasn't born. I would have been carried from the womb to the grave, dude. Wow. He said, I wish I died at birth. Wow. Are not my days few? Cease, leave me alone, that I may take a little comfort, before I go to the place from which I shall not return, to the land of darkness and the shadow of death. A land as dark as darkness itself, as the shadow of death without any order, where even the light is in the darkness, is like darkness. So, this is where the shadow of death, right? So, like, when you have cancer, you walk through the shadow of death. When you get in a car accident, you walk through the shadow of death. When you contemplate your own life on a daily basis, you walk through the shadow of death. And other than the trials and tribulations that occur, I mean, I'd have to say with modern fixtures and geography on where we live, I say, like, I feel like we're kind of far removed from society. But, like, things are just different here, right? This is not the rules that they follow other places, like, just on a normal basis. You know, the customs and traditions that they follow, you know, are just different. They interact with each other. It's just different, you know? But the idea of it, I first learned about from Marcus Aurelius, and, like, contemplating your own death and, like, reading philosophers, right? Memento mori, right? You never know when you're going to die, so live every moment like you're going to die. That is, right? The more that I live that way, and realizing that I've lost things throughout my life, which, based on my own decisions, right? But I've lost things throughout my life, and you lose them without holding any attachment, knowing that it's part of God's plan, and God will provide, you know, a good life as long as you give it up to Him, right? And it is a process, but we're getting there. We're getting there. Just asking for help sometimes, right? Just a little bit of help. That's all we need. God will figure out the rest. Already has. So, I mean, let's take this opportunity to contemplate death in a good environment where we're all in a safe place, where we're not actively going through, I mean, unless you're going through something right now, and then in that case, I do pray for you, but things will get better. But to contemplate death, right? And I know it's very sad, but one day you're going to be on a table. You're going to be getting cremated. You're going to be buried. You're going to be a lifeless body. Somebody is going to wheel you around in a wheelchair and pretend that you're alive after you die, right? And that should make you laugh a little bit. And you should have a little bit of fun with it. Because at the end of the day, you're not going to be here. Everybody else is going to be here. And it should be a happy thing at the end of the day, right? That is life, the life that we live every day, right? And we should be happy when people move on. Because at the end of the day, right, we sit here and we're like, you live your best life. But at the end of the day, none of us know why we're here. We're all dealing with the same stuff. Like, if you live a good, righteous life, you should be happy when you die, right? And you should be... Everybody else, I think, knows at the end of the day, right? They're sad that you have to go. More the sentiment, right? And that it has to occur, and that we all have to be part of it. And at least Job had a friend, right? He had a couple friends. If he had no friends, he might have jumped off a cliff. And that's not even a joke. He was talking about it. You know? And maybe that's another testament, right? Is that even after losing everything, he still had something, which was a friend and people to talk to, right? And God did. And like, right? Even is that not God providing for you, even if you don't realize it? Is that like God took everything from this man, but he still has people to talk to, right? Because God also made those other people. So, you know, God will never leave you alone, which is a good thing. You'll never be alone. Not after death. Not before death either. Stop being sad. Put a smile on your face. And let's keep it moving. Keep it schmoving. And we'll join Job when he talks to his last friend. And we'll see, right? You know, the blameless man. Doesn't mean you don't do wrong things, I guess, right? Sometimes when you have a family, I feel like you're just forced into decisions sometimes, right? To stand up for the people that you love. And that's blameless. And that's righteous. When you're not doing it for yourself. So, let's ask God, right? To give our lives. In whatever way that might be. Whatever way is useful. Well, thank you, God, for the opportunity for us to learn and grow as human beings. And allow us all the opportunity to change if necessary. And may our travels be safe. And may you help those in need. And help them find peace.